So messed up. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kanisha if you already don't know. And in today's video we are going to be filming books to get you out of a reading slump. I feel like we have all been in a reading slump before. I think it's so common. Literally everyone and their freaking mother is in a reading slump. And I'm currently in a reading slump as well. So these are some of the books that have helped me get out of a slump when either I just don't want to read any books, or maybe I read a book and it just completely put me into the slump. So yeah, I have 10 books to show you guys, so let's get started. So the first book I have is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barn. This is her other book series that literally no one really talks about, which I'm really surprised because it is amazing. I read the first one and I loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's such a quick, fast-paced book that literally just throws you in there already. You don't have to prepare anything while reading it. You're just thrown into whatever's happening and you're kind of just following all the characters. Basically, we have our main character Cassie. She is a 17-year-old girl who kind of has this gift of being able to read people based off their movement, kind of their appearance, all of that. So then the FBI is like, hey, you should join our program called The Naturals, where there's other kids who also have similar gifts. They have to go through cold cases and kind of just figure out everything. So yeah, it's very quick, very fast paced. It is only 308 pages, so it is not that long of a book. It's very quick, very easy. I think I read this in a couple hours, so yeah, definitely a good book to start with. Next we have is, I feel like everyone knows the series, but it is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I love this series so much. I think it's probably one of the easier YA fantasies to get into, because I know fantasy is not everyone's favorite genre because it is difficult to get into, but this is more of a whimsical fairy tale magical place, and you're kind of just thrown into the book already as well. There's really no big world building that happens. You kind of just get the vibes and the feel of the book and the world just by reading it. We have our main character Evangeline, who makes a deal with the Prince of Jax after her fiance marries her stepsister. And then we kind of follow the adventures of Evangeline and Jack, and her trying to just figure out her life, but also figure out her love life and what's happening, and then obviously her relationship with Jax as well. And I love it. It's so good. It is a 3-book series, but you will just love the characters so much. Next we have is Flawless by LZ Silver. This is a part of the Chestnut Spring series, and I love the Chestnut Spring series so much. I don't think you understand how much I love it. Small town, cowboy romance, oh my god. So we have, yeah, Flawless, which follows Reed, I don't know that's how to pronounce his name, and Summer. Reed is a bull rider, so it's not not all of them are basically cowboy romance. It's they're in that area of cowboy romance, you know what I mean? Basically, Summer, she kind of has to nanny him because he is obviously a very famous bull rider, and he did something that the media saw, and so now they're trying to contain that and make him into the perfect person. And yeah, I just loved it. It was so easy to get into. It's also not that long too. I think it's less than 400 pages, which is not that long, so it gets you, it's very easy to get into. Next we have is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Obviously everyone and their mother knows this book. This is we're just basically following Pippa and her investigation of the missing case of Andy Bell, and the person who was accused of murdering her, she thinks may not even be the person. So yeah, this is so good. I loved it. I think everyone literally knows about this book already, so I feel like I don't need to explain too much about it, but yeah, definitely my favorite book. Next we have is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I love this book. I think this is one of my favorite Christina Lauren books ever. The way they just wrote this book, I don't know why, I just loved it more than Love in Other Words. We have kind of fake dating, fake marriage kind of. We have Olive and Ethan. They're at this wedding. I think it's Olive's sister's wedding, who kind of falls out And then so there's this like free honeymoon that obviously her sister doesn't want to go on to, so Olive takes it and Ethan too as well, so they have to be like a fake couple while being there, obviously because it's technically a honeymoon vacation. So there's like honeymoon suite, honeymoon activities. So cute. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. So definitely recommend. So the next book we have is the Mindfuck series, which is by St. Abby. This series is so good. It's so quick, fast paced. Like the books, they're all in like different parts, so they're like sometimes like less than 100 pages. They're very easy and quick to get into. Basically we follow our main character Lana, who is a serial killer, and Logan, who is like an FBI police officer, agent, I don't know what he is. He's just in like the law enforcement area. That's basically what I know. They fall in love, and then he's trying to catch a serial killer who's been killing like all these guys, and little does he realize that Lana is literally the one doing that. It's very fun, very quick, fast paced. I guess you would mark it as a dark romance, but I feel like it's like more the tame dark romance. So the next books are The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. This is a 2-book series. I think there's gonna be a 3rd one coming out soon, which I'm really surprised by. But the first and second book are really good and fast-paced books that will just be easier just to like get back into reading. Obviously I feel like mystery thrillers are one of the easier books to get back into reading because there's not really any like obviously world building. You're kind of just like following the mystery and on and all of that. We have Millie, our main character, who gets hired by this wealthy family as a maid, and then she starts to notice like weird stuff that's happening with like the wife Nina. It's like really weird behavior, and she's so confused of what's happening. Basically just following like Millie's point of view and seeing like what she is seeing at the house, what's happening with like the wife and the husband, and like Millie just trying to piece everything together. Also the fact that she is a past criminal as well. So yeah, it's very just like big, adventurous, and there is like a plot twist. Obviously, for if you read Frida McFadden books before, you always know there is a plot twist. So yeah, it's a really good book. Obviously I can't talk about the second book because it follows the first book after, so you just have to read the first book if you want to find out what happens in the second book. So, and then the next book I have is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Stephanie Garber just like makes such good like easy fantasy books to get into. You have Scarlett, who gets into this world obviously called Caraval because her sister just like literally ditches her, which oh my god, I hate her sister so much in this book. Scarlett's basically just trying to find her sister in this whole like mess and this like whole world, and then she meets Julian, and then she just starts to like have some weird like riddles and clues and all this stuff, and she's like just basically confused, and she kind of just has to go look for her sister overall because her sister literally just leaves her. Like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it better, honestly. I feel like that's kind of the gist of it, but I love the characters so much. Like Scarlett and Julian are literally my favorite. So yeah. Lastly, we have the book The Infinity Between Us by N.S. Perkins. This book is so easy to get into. Oh my lord, it is not that long of a book. It is less than 300 pages, and basically you're following this kind of like, it gives like the Summer Turned Pretty vibes, like basically childhood friends to lovers. We have Violet and Will, who they've spent most of their summers together, and you know, Violet obviously has a very big crush on Will, but you know, Will doesn't reciprocate, like he just doesn't really know. And then something traumatic happens one day at like the family trip, and they have gone their separate ways, and now they come together again to either possibly sell the house. So yeah, that's what they're trying to do, and it's so good. It's so easy to get into. Like I love it. I love it. So that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoy. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.